everyone, I'm Gurleen. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we'll be discussing the trade plan for the weekly expiry, that is March 23rd, 2023, for Nifty and Bank Nifty and a few select stocks which must be on your watch list. The market ended with minor gains after a range-bound trading session ahead of the Fed meet. So will the Fed move its policy to maintain price stability, or will it pivot to ensure other risks in the market are contained while inflation is still above its target? We are yet to find out. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and do ring the notification bell so that you never miss an update. So without any further ado, let's get into the video starting with Nifty 50. So here on the daily chart of Nifty 50, you can see that the index has inched slightly higher than the previous candle. Also, if you look at this candle, you can see a short body and short wicks, which signifies that most of the trading activity was confined near the open and the close. Also, on a higher degree, you can see that Nifty is still trading within this range of 17,200 and 16,800. So what can happen in the upcoming trading sessions? Let's take a look at the hourly time frame to understand on better terms. Now here you can see that we had a horizontal support line pegged at the levels of about 16,800, and we were discussing the possibility of the index spending some time here consolidating within this range and then decisively breaking out to catch on to the trend. Now today the index has traded within a narrow range, and here you can see that the first candle has gotten rejected from the resistance level of 17,200. Now we also had a harmonic pattern over here on the hourly chart which is close to getting triggered above the level of 17,145. So let's outline the possibilities. So the first one is that I've been mentioning since the last couple of videos that the level of 17,170 to 17,200 is a strong resistance for Nifty, and will only consider the positive momentum unfolding once Nifty moves above this resistance level, and therefore it will trigger this harmonic pattern and we can see Nifty moving ahead towards the levels of about 17,452. Number two, that if Nifty breaks this particular low along with the moving averages, then we can expect a trajectory towards the downside, a very limited one towards the levels of 17,017 and 16,970. On the 15-minute chart, there hasn't been much development as the index was stuck within this range for the day, and you can mark the high and the low which is pegged at 17,207 and 17,107 and then trade into the direction that Nifty decisively breaks. So on the larger scale, I've mentioned the support and resistance levels for Nifty on the chart. So support is pegged at 16,970 and 16,828, whereas resistance is placed at 17,170 to 17,200. Now let's move to Bank Nifty. So here on the daily chart of Bank Nifty, you can see that every candle's low has been higher than the previous candle, and it has been slowly marching forward from the lows. Now in today's trading session, Bank Nifty is also close to the moving averages on the daily scale. Now to understand what can happen over the course of the upcoming trading sessions, let's move to the hourly time frame. Now here the harmonic pattern was triggered above the level of 39,597, and you can see that Bank Nifty has strongly held above the same, and over here on the hourly chart you can see that it is also placed above the moving averages. So today Bank Nifty has almost tested the level of 40,085 on the upside and traded within the range of this inside bar. Now I've mentioned an inside bar a lot of times in the video, so let me also briefly explain the significance of the same. So the very first thing is that an inside bar shows a period of consolidation and reduced volatility, which you can see right here in front of you. Now in general, such consolidations are followed by a continuation in the trend, or you can say that a big move might be on the cards. So the catch here is to either wait for a breakout or a breakdown above or below the inside bar. Now coming back, the initial target for this harmonic pattern happens to be the level of 40,268, where we might see some cool off towards the moving averages, or we can say the pivot, and thereafter Bank Nifty can continue to inch higher towards the levels of 40,718, which is also in line with the moving averages on the daily scale. But what if this narrow range gets broken on the downside? Then I would be expecting Bank Nifty to catch up with the moving averages or the pivot, and then we can see a fresh move on the upside towards 40,268 followed by 40,718. Also, for those of you who have asked in the comments, this is the 20 and 40 exponential moving average. Now on the 15 minutes chart, you can see this brief period of consolidation and how nicely Bank Nifty has found support at the averages. So for those of you who are comfortable with the shorter time frame, you can consider these levels of 39,837 and 39,934 as your trailing supports, and the only cause of worry would be a breakdown below this particular low of the inside bar, and in that case Bank Nifty can test the pivot B on the downside as outlined a few moments back, and I do think that Fed might be the trigger for leading the next move in the index. Now for your reference, here I have written the support and resistance levels for Bank Nifty. The support is at 39,597 and 39,370, and the resistance is placed at 40,268 and 40,718. Also in today's trading session, Sunpharma gained 1.04% and all the constituents have either closed on a flat or a positive note. So now let's talk about stocks, and the first one is from the pharma space, which is Sunpharma, which we have been discussing over the past week. So I was looking for a target of about 980 to 1000 over here, and it has been a rewarding setup with almost 1:2 RR. So are we done here, or is there another opportunity brewing up in Sunpharma? On the hourly time frame, today Sunpharma broke out of the pivot at 965, triggering this harmonic pattern with a potential target of about 984. Now from these particular levels of about 975, if at all we see any pullback towards the pivot, it can be considered as a nice opportunity for creating a long position for a potential target of about 984, and one can consider the invalidation level of about 953 in this counter. The second one is MGL. So here you can see that it broke out of the contracting range on the upside and has been trading sideways for over 2 weeks now. So at the current levels, the RR is not very favorable, but in case we see a low volume pullback towards the breakout point, we can look for some opportunities in this one as well. But do remember that it's a conditional bet and wait and watch kind of a setup as of now. Also, being a trader, never let FOMO dictate your decisions and avoid the temptation to act out of impulsiveness. Now another update is on ICICI Bank that we also discussed yesterday. So it has almost achieved the target of about 864 over here, which happens to be a harmonic reversal zone. So we can expect some cool off from these levels as well. And in case of an extended move, we can expect ICICI Bank to even test the levels of about 883 on the upside. So on that note, it's Gurleen signing off. Until we meet again, have a good time.